Well, a long time ago, I had a Mazda 3 just like this. I was the first one to turbocharge my Mazda 3 in the entire country. Pretty happy with it too, made 150 horsepower. But no, we're not going to be turbocharging this Mazda because since I did it on myself, I actually destroyed the engine, put in too much boost. Well, I also wanted to find out how powerful it can go, but we went up to 175 and then promptly died. So I was way back, I think in 2008. Anyway, this yellow Mazda is here for power package, which is an intake, header, and once upon a time it was unit chips. Now we can do ECU remap on this car, but he's also opting for a full exhaust. So follow along to see what are the things that we're going to be installing and how much power we make. This is the stock header of the Mazda 3 and it's kind of ugly. It looks like some weird ass hand over here with fat fingers. Just so you know where the components here, these are the primary runners. So from 4 cylinders, it goes here into this stamped piece, which is not the most ideal because what happens is from round it ends up being squished flat here in the middle. Then this is the catalytic converter, everything routes through here, then goes out here at the back. What we're going to be replacing this is with a 4-1 long tube header. So the primary runner will be about this long, up to here, up to there, up to there, up to there. Now, why don't we do a 4-2-1 header? Is because of this sensor here. We can only extend this wire so much up to here, and this sensor needs to get the exhaust gases from all 4 cylinders sabay-sabay. Ideally, because that's how it calculates the air-fuel ratio. So this is why you need a 4-1 header, because of this sensor. Then there's another sensor here at the back for the post-catalytic, which both sensors will have to go back, because if they don't go back, you will have a check engine light. Generation Mazda 3, we have actually 2 tuning options. We can either reflash it, which is what you saw a while ago, and we're able to stick our laptop into the OBD port and read the ECU data, or we use unit chip. Then this is the point of contention now for everybody, which is better and what should I choose? My rule of thumb comes down to this. Since it being a pretty old car, 2006, 2007, so it's more than a decade old. If you want more performance out of it and don't plan to keep it for the next 5 years, I suggest you go with unit chip, because when you sell the car, you can remove this and install it into whatever new car you buy. Say ayaw mo na mag-Mazda, ayaw mo na mag-gas. You want to buy a diesel now, so this one will be installed in either a Hilux, Montero, D-Max, or whatever you want to buy. Or let's say you buy a newer Mazda, this will still work. You should say you don't want Mazda anymore because the resale value sucks and you want to buy a Honda, this will work for a Honda also. So that's why you take this with you when you sell the car. As opposed to when you do ECU remap, when you sell the car, it's thank you to the next owner. The next owner will thank you because he gets a more powerful car without spending any much more money for it, because you can't charge him an additional 25,000 bucks on top of the selling price just because you remapped it. It doesn't work that way in the second-hand market. It will just be whatever market price your Mazda is, and then that's it. This guy says he's not going to sell the car. He wants to keep it for the next 10 years if it's still running, so that's why we're going with ECU remap on this. And this is the file that we're able to open, and these are the parameters that we're able to correct. So we have here our fuel map, basic injection system. This is RPM. This is percent throttle. So this is how much you step, and as you step, the RPMs go here. Then this is how much fuel is injected. These numbers actually don't mean anything. It's not lambda. It's not amount of fuel. It's just an arbitrary number. So from what we know about Mazdas, these things tend to run very rich towards the red line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and then lessen it a little bit. Make it around 40. And this one too, lessen this part here. That should be okay. There you go. This one here from 1000 to 1 plus. This is pretty much spot on. You can lean it out just a little bit. You can lean out just a little tiny bit. There. Okay, and save that. Save it, exit. Then this is our spark timing map. So actually I have to change this one. So whatever I did on map number 1, I have to do on map number 2. So same thing here also with spark events base map. This is once again RPM. Now it says here load already, so from 0 to 100%. This is actually in actual degrees of timing. We've tuned a lot of Mazda, so we know that I can increase timing by a few degrees. There we go. Yeah, about 3 degrees. We can start with about 3 degrees timing everywhere from 1.5 all the way up to 7,000 RPM, and there will be no engine tope or detonation or pinging. So that's fine also. So I'm gonna do this so on and so forth, and then after I've done it, I will save the tune, load it back to the car, put it on the dyno again to see if how much power we make. And just for comparison, if that is what the tuning software looks like, as you can see, it looks like a big Excel file. This is what the unit chip map looks like. See, it's also an Excel file. So I have here timing and I have here fuel. So the difference between unit chip and then remap. Remap already, since you're altering the ECU data itself, may laman na, it has preset stuff inside already. Unlike from unit chip, what you're doing is you're adding values on top of whatever the stock ECU is. That's why this is 00. It's a little bit more intuitive when tuning. So say timing here. I want to add timing the same way I did a while ago. I'm gonna take this one and add about 3 degrees of timing. For fueling, it's a bit different on YouTube. This is still RPM, but instead of going from top to bottom for the load, it goes from bottom to the top. So this is 0 and that is full throttle. So full throttle is here. So if you want the minus fuel, we just do like that. Once again, these numbers are not absolute. They have no units. They are just numbers. Oh yeah, I have -3 there. Probably about -2 there. About -1 there. This could be up to about -4 there. So I have fuel and I have both timing. These are pretty much the only things that are to be adjusted, fuel and timing. So this fuel map here corresponds to this whole fuel map here. This timing map here corresponds to all of these 4 things here. So I have to adjust. There's more adjustments to be made in remap than as opposed to unit chip. So tuning wise, this is a little bit more straightforward and intuitive. This one you need to know what these terms mean and what they do and how they work. two different ways of achieving the same result. So back to the question, which one is more powerful or which one gives more power? They both give the same power, actually. It doesn't matter which one you choose. If we get 10 horses from this, we'll get 10 horses from this as well. Alright, we're done with our yellow Mazda 3 with everything on it, and it's not exactly earth-shattering power. It is after all a 1.6 2007 Mazda 3, but definitely a lot better than stock. So this is the dyno chart that we ended up with. So this red line here is our stock power. So we peaked at around 78 horses. Now this purple line is after everything we did. So we did intake, headers, full exhaust, and then unit shift. So we went up to 90 horses. So peak to peak, we got 12 horses right there. Big gains are here at the low RPM, where 99% of our time is spent driving anyway. So from 2,000 all the way up to 4,000 RPM. So here we went from 25 to 45 horses. So that's 20 horses right there. And then this part here is actually kind of big. We got rid of this little dip over here. So that's from 18 to 45 horse, and then from 35 to 50, that's 15 horse, 45 to 55, 10 horse, 45 to 65 horse, to another 20 horse here. So this entire area here, we average about 15 to 17 horsepower gain this area. And that's pretty big for a 1.6 Mazda 3. The same way that our torque went up from 85 to 153, so almost double at 2000 RPM. So what this simply means is you step on the throttle lightly, you will have lots of sibat, so times 2 worth of sibat at 2002 RPM, and then drops off a little bit the same way that this drops off. But even if it drops off here to this point at 115 Newton meters, it's still more than the maximum torque when it was stock, which is only about 100. So this should make overtaking a lot easier. And I will pull up a message to me. Hi sir, grabe po yung nilakas ng auto ko compared to before. Sobrang nakakatawa yung result. Grabe additional power sir. Maraming salamat. Thank you Sir Sydney. Enjoy. Thanks for the discount. Stay safe and God bless. Yes, we do give discount if you do the whole package with us. So how much it is depends on what you want to do and what needs to be done, because you can't keep adding and adding, and of course I will say no. So for things like this, it's best to come to the shop and let's talk about it. What you want to happen, what you want to achieve, and what are the expected power and torque increases afterwards. So I prefer that you guys do come here, because a lot of things that is easier to explain when I'm talking to you guys face to face instead of just messaging here. And sometimes, here's the annoying part, I call and then I even call and talk to you on the phone. It's still a bit hard for you guys to understand what I'm saying. So it's better just to come to the shop face to face.